invite this morning. I'm going to invite our very own Reverend Dr. Alva folks forward to the podium, and she will give her inspirational talk this morning. She's fresh from her show last night, so I'm sure it will be an excellent talk. I give you Reverend folks.
Thank you, Sharon. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I had a couple of topics this morning I wanted to talk about and didn't have them totally put together, so I thought that I would like to talk, first of all, about the power of words, because what we say to one another and how we treat one another with our words is extremely powerful. Owing to the vibratory power of words, whatever man voices, he begins to attract. Let's think about that for a moment. Oh, I have this stomach ache. I have trouble getting up in the morning. What happens? You have a stomach ache and you have trouble getting up in the morning. And it repeats because you have set that into your energetic field. People who invariably speak of disease invariably attract it. When you know how words affect the patterns of our lives, you can renew and transform through the spoken word and heal the soul. The subconscious power is without direction and simply carries out without question. So you must select your words carefully. We need to live in the now and let go of old patterns, old thoughts that hold us back from being all that we can be and moving to where we belong. Life is a mirror, and we find we reflect in our associates, in our loved ones, in our family, in our friends. Think about how often, when you're standing and talking to someone, you become aggravated. It's because they touched a chord in you that you resonate with. And you need to hear that in order to clear that up. So the next time that happens, ask yourself, what's going on inside? What's happening that I don't like? What do I personally need to clear out? Life is a mirror, and we reflect this. So living in the past is a failure method and a violation of spiritual law. The truth shall set you free. And remember, it's also stuck energy. Jesus Christ said, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you." And he said the kingdom was within man. It's not out there. It's in each and every one of us. So the kingdom is the realm of right ideas, or the divine pattern that we all have within our cellular memory. Our DNA, everything that we need to be, is within us already. We just have to manifest it out there and acknowledge it in here. Jesus taught that man's word played a leading part in the game of life. By your words ye are justified, and by your words ye are condemned. Pretty powerful words. Many people have brought disaster into their lives through idle words. Think about how many times you've listened to rumors, or you've been caught up in gossip and you've hurt those around you. Sometimes unjustifiably. And even if it was justified, who are you to judge? There are three departments of the mind: the subconscious, the conscious, and the superconscious. The subconscious is simply power without direction. It is like the stream or electricity, and it does what it's directed to do. It has no power of induction. Whatever man feels deeply or images clearly is impressed upon the subconscious mind and carries out in the minutest detail. Think about that. Oh, I don't think I'm feeling so good today. What happens for the balance of the day? You don't feel good because it reacts to what your words are. That's a big problem with kids. Think about it. We have to be positive with our kids and what's happening. We have to say to them, you're good. Don't set boundaries on them. Don't give them set ideas. You need to allow them to find their own way. Encourage them. Do not speak to them in nasty terms or putting other people down, because it encourages them to go off in the wrong direction. The conscious mind has been called mortal or carnal mind. It is the human mind and sees life as it appears to be. It sees death, disaster, sickness, poverty, and limitation of every kind, and it impresses the subconscious. The superconscious mind is the God mind within each and every man, and is the realm of perfect ideas. It is in the perfect pattern that was spoken of by Plato, the divine design, for there is a divine design for each and every person. There's a place that you are to fill and no one else can fill it. Something you are to do and no one else can do it. We are all here for a specific reason, a specific pattern, a specific purpose, and no one can do that. Only you can fill that portion that you were designed to fulfill. There's a perfect picture of this in the superconscious mind. It usually flashes across the conscious as an unattainable ideal, something too good to be true. Why? Why is it too good to be true? We all have God within. If we have God within, we all have the knowledge and the power within. Why can't we do anything that we choose to do? We, as individuals, put limitations on ourselves. Our parents put limitations on us by telling us, we can only do this, we can only do that. That's not true. You can achieve anything that you desire. You just have to stay focused and do what you choose to do. In reality, it's man's true destiny or destination, and it's flashed to him from the infinite intelligence which is inside each and every one of us. So I want you to think about something you truly want and start focusing on it. You can do it. I had the great mother that used to tell me, Al, don't let anyone tell you can't do anything. You can do anything you make up your mind to do. And I have to tell you, I grew up in a community that the 90% of the kids that I went through high school with were married by the end of school and having children. And I said, this is not what I want. I want something more than that. I don't want to be sitting in the bar every weekend moaning and groaning about being married to this man that drinks too much every Saturday night. I want something more in my life. And I've accomplished it. Look at all the travels I've been on. Peru, Spain, Ireland, Barbados, a few other places. Mexico. And I'm not done yet. Okay? It's about where do you want to go? What do you want to do? It's up to you where we go. Okay? So many people are ignorant of their true destinies and are striving for things in situations which do not belong to them and would only bring failure and dissatisfaction if attained. So if your focus is only getting through high school and getting married, where are you going? I'm not saying getting married is wrong, don't misunderstand. What I'm saying is, look for the bigger things in life, and it doesn't matter how old you are. I'm still trying to achieve, and I'm not 21 anymore. I still have things to do. I'm just finishing off my first book and starting a second one. What do you want to do? Go for it. Let me stand here and cheer you on. Tell me what you're doing, and I'll help you. You can do anything you make up your mind to do. In the 23rd Psalm we read, He restoreth my soul. This means that the subconscious mind or soul must be restored with the right ideas and mystical marriage, because the marriage is of the soul and the spirit, or the subconscious and the superconscious mind. Hey, we understand that. We're always dealing with that in this organization, aren't we? We're always saying to you, where do you want to go and what do you want to do? We encourage you to come up here and work. We encourage you to join our classes so that you can move forward. We're here to support you doing what you want to achieve. I think there can be no greater thing in this lifetime than to encourage others to move forward. So in other words, love and goodwill will destroy the enemies of oneself. Therefore, no one has any enemies on the external. Boy, that's pretty powerful, isn't it? How many of us think that someone's against us? They're not against us. We allow them to implant ideas that maybe we aren't on the right track. But if you know in your heart of hearts that you're doing the right thing, ignore them. It's those learned patterns and behaviors that you get caught up in. So allow your mind to be free. Don't get caught up in the words of others. Be clear with your words. Think about where you want to go. Think about how you want to be talked to. Do you want someone to support you? Then tell them how much you love them and support them in where they're going. You want someone to encourage you in where you're going? Then encourage them in what they're doing. Because everything you do from inside your heart will come back to you. That's what true love is about. And that was the love that the Christ was talking about. When the subconscious is flooded with perfect ideas of the superconsciousness, God and man are one. Can't say it much more clearer than that, okay? Let me ask you, if you're not going to run your subconscious mind, who do you think is going to run it for you? The neighbor who says, you can't do that. The friend that says, you don't have the ability to do that. Or are you going to say, I can do anything I make up my mind to do? Every disease is a disease of the mind. Because disease is when the mind is not at ease. Dis-ease is what we're talking about. Continual criticism produces rheumatism. Who's got rheumatism? How critical are you of others? It's also inharmonious thoughts which cause unnatural deposits in the bloodstream, which settles in the joints. So I'm not going to ask, but how many people have arthritis? Because basically, arthritis and rheumatism are along the same line. False growths are caused by jealousy, hatred, unforgiveness, and fear. So how have the words that you've used affected your health? When someone talks to you, they shouldn't say to you, what's the matter with you? What they should say to you is, who's the matter with you? Let me share. Anger. Anger is stored in the liver and the gallbladder. Okay? So those of us that have been involved with those that were alcoholics, how many of them were stuck in anger and couldn't get past it? Okay? How many have had gallbladder attacks? What are you hanging on to that you haven't let go of? Now, some of this is inherited, and I'm not going to tell you it's not, okay? But you manifest more of it because of your thinking patterns. We're all affected by negative thoughts. The subconscious power without direction simply carries out orders without question, okay? Second time I've said that. You got it? The subconscious power without direction simply carries out orders without question. So when you start thinking negatively and you put out negative words, you draw to you negativity. And it's inside. It's in the physical body, the mental body, the spiritual body. It's within all. We need to live in the now. So it means that we have to let go of the past. You got to let go of the anger. You got to forgive and move through it. And when you do, and you're living in the now, everything changes, okay? Life is a mirror, and we find we reflect in everything that's going on around us. So living in the past is not good, okay? So let me ask you this. What would you like to manifest in your life? Would you like to manifest wealth? Let's talk about that for a minute, okay? So let's deal with the subconscious mind and how we should phrase that, okay? And it's how we phrase it that makes the difference. So I know perhaps you know by now that the basic approach is to ask for your desire already, but as you're getting more and more advanced in mastering your desires and your manifestations, I want to share with you something that's more advanced than this basic approach, okay? Because we all have affirmations that we've used in the past, right? And it helps us. It's baby steps. It's motivating us in a positive way, using baby steps to get our thinking patterns in alignment with where we want to go versus where we're at. And that's why I say baby steps. Okay, so here's what you want to do. Instead of saying, I am wealthy, instead of saying, I want wealth, you want to say, I am wealthy, okay? Because your subconscious mind takes every affirmation at face value and brings it to you. So if you want wealth, your subconscious mind will make sure you will always want wealth as opposed to having it. Got it? Okay, so that's the basic approach. So now we want to bypass this, and we want something that goes from the logical mind and reaches the subconscious mind very easily. So now we change it so that we can't argue with it. And that's the best way of doing it. So, first of all, you know, sometimes for some people the affirmation, I am wealthy, is unbelievable. So their logical mind rejects the idea, and the affirmation doesn't make it to the subconscious mind to manifest. So you see where I'm going with this? Okay? All right, so here's how to do it, okay? So that it won't be rejected. You take the affirmation you want, and we make it more powerful and more advanced, okay? And we say, I am becoming wealthier and wealthier every day in every way. Very simple. Just changing the prefix on the word makes the difference, right? I am becoming wealthier and wealthier every day in every way. What a simple way of changing it, okay? The feeling that this affirmation creates is extremely powerful to the subconscious mind because it says we're moving in a positive direction. We're here and we want to go there, so we're bringing it into our life. So energetically, it becomes much more positive. This affirmation creates a sustainable and ongoing drive for wealth in your subconscious mind. This affirmation can create an avalanche or a snowball effect. Okay, very easy to do. You can apply this way of phrasing your affirmations to relationships, health, personal goals, or helping anyone. Just think about how we've done this, okay? And here's a few simple affirmations to help you with your desires. Here's one for health. Divine love floods my consciousness with health, and every cell in my body is filled with light. That one's pretty simple, isn't it? Okay? Because if you're bringing in the light, how can you not be connected to the divine? The divine is light. There can be no illness where there's light. So that's a very simple affirmation, okay? And the other one that I really like is, what is mine by divine right can never be taken away from me. God's perfect plan is built upon a rock, and I stand upon the rock. Great affirmation. I give thanks now that I bring forth from the universal substance everything that satisfies all the righteous desires of my heart. Again, you know, drawing from universal energy so that you are in alignment. I expect the unexpected. My glorious good now comes to pass. I offer you some of these affirmations to assist you in many areas of your life that you may wish to address. And I put a list of them in the back. There's sheets back there with affirmations. Feel free to change them and move them around to make them more powerful you. But remember, it's not, I am wealthy. I attract wealthiness. I am moving forward with wealth, okay? I'm bringing more wealth into my life. It is how you word it for you that makes the difference in your life. And I encourage you to do that. So I hope all is well with you and enjoying all the great things that life has to offer. Thank you for allowing me to share.